let's move on to our second topic, which is going to be awesome for those of you that have data flowing in multiple directions to the digital asset management system from maybe APIs, maybe coming in from integrations that we have, such as project information management systems, also known as PIMs. You can see that the fields for this are going to be read only. This debuted in May of 2022, and this is allowing you to create read-only fields in the DAM. This means that as a DAM user, even as a DAM administrator, I cannot affect the data in that field. And the reason for that is that you might have other sources that need to have their information be the single source of truth about that structured metadata field. Maybe it's a SKU that's coming in from a PIM system or coming in from some type of e-commerce system. Maybe it's where there's certain details that are coming in through APIs that the developers are influencing that we know that we don't want DAM users tweaking because it could throw off searches done by your development team or your DAM team. Whatever it happens to be, you can designate fields as being able to read and write onto that so I can see it and I can change it. Or they can be read only, that the only people that can ever change, manipulate that field have that level of API access. So as we're pointing out, we have to understand structured metadata a little bit to understand this product update. So let's dive into that, folks. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go back to my media library. And I'm going to show you two ways to get to your structured metadata in terms of being able to edit the fields. And what I also want to point out is what I am showing is tied to those that have DAM administrator access. So if you're an admin, you normally will have access to be able to add new metadata fields, edit them, delete them. Not all DAM users will. So if you happen to be somebody that is a media library user, not necessarily an admin, you may not be able to do every step that I show you in today's section at this point. But you'll see here in menu navigation, I can easily go to structured metadata. It is an option. So that's one major benefit for those of you that are DAM administrators. But the way that typically you would have to do this is you would have to go to your settings section. And then in the right-hand side of your overall view that you'll have here, you'll see that there's an area that says manage structured metadata. Both of those will allow you to see all the metadata fields that happen to be part of your DAM system. And what you'll notice is that you can now set any of those fields to be read only. And it's as simple as the switch that happens to be there. But as you can see, there's some details that we provide saying is a field filled in programmatically, as I said, through APIs or through integrations to the DAM system. And you don't want your DAM users to change its value. So if that happens to be the case, then you can see that once I've done all of the structured metadata updates, if I was a DAM user and I go to any particular field, like this picture of this awesome shoe, then if I go to the metadata section, you'll notice that I can update fields like publication status and photo capture date, fields that I've gone and developed for my DAM system. But I can't edit the expiration date one because that field is read only. And we know that there'll be data coming from another source that is treated as a single source of truth for that piece of structured metadata. So as we're saying here, it allows you to modify any existing field or any new field to make it read only. So everything is backward compatible with the way that this works. All you have to do, as we've indicated, just simply toggle the read only field to make it read only. Of course, if you make a mistake, you can just flip it off and now people can read and write to that field. Also, one thing to note here is that if you do have mandatory fields, what that's stating is that DAM users have to fill this field out. And this won't necessarily work with read-only fields because if you're saying DAM users can't fill it out, but you're setting it as mandatory, it has a contradictory element to it. So read-only fields can't be mandatory fields because of how they work within the system. Also, as we pointed out, the value cannot be edited through the media library by any DAM users, frankly, also administrators, as we've indicated. By how it works, you hover over it. It's not a clickable field. It gives you a message indicating it's read only.